Hello children, wishing you a very good day. This is your teacher Asima Khanam, and today we shall be discussing the Sound of Music Part 2, Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Children, music. Music, something which is celebrated universally, which connects people, brings them closer. Yes children, Ustad Bismillah Khan, he was not only a pious Muslim, but a symbol of communal harmony. He had great love, compassion, and had great fellow feelings for the people of other religions too. That is why he was known and popular throughout the world. Children, I would like to give you a brief introduction about Ustad Bismillah Khan. He is commonly called as Khan Sahab or Ustad Bismillah Khan. He was born on 21st March 1916, a small town, Dumrao, located in Bihar. He belonged to a family of musicians. His grandfather, Rasul Bakhsh Khan, was a Shehnai Nawaz of the king Bhojpur. He used to play Shehnai there at the Bhojpur king's court. And all his uncles, his paternal uncles, his maternal uncles, they were all musicians. And we can say that Bismillah Khan, he got that spark, that motivation from his family. He was motivated by his family and opted music as his career. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao. And he would regularly go to a nearby temple and used to sing Bhojpuri Chaita. And a local Maharaja of that particular area, he used to gift Bismillah Khan a laddu, a sweet, that would weigh 1.25 kilogram. I will repeat, children. Bismillah Khan used to go to a local temple, Balaji Temple, which was situated in Dumrao, and a local Maharaja of that particular region was so much impressed by his singing that he would gift him a laddu that used to weigh around 1.25 kilogram. And then the journey began. So it was the Emperor Aurangzeb. Children, you all know Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was the 6th ruler of the Mughal dynasty. He had ruled the Indian subcontinent for over a period of 49 years. And this very emperor, Aurangzeb, he banned the playing of the musical instrument called pungi. Yes. Why was it banned? It was banned because it had a shrill and unpleasant sound. Shrill, children, something which is loud, something which is unpleasant, something which irritates. And that is why the king Aurangzeb, he banned the instrument. And pungi later became the generic name for the reeded noise makers. What is a reeded noise maker, children? We have different instruments like flute, and they are carved out of the reeds. And that is why we call them as reeded, because they are made out of the reeds. And pungi became a generic name for the reeded noise makers. And few had thought that it would one day be revived. Only few. And then a barber of a family of the professional musicians who actually had the access to the royal palace, he decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. And what he did? he chose a pipe slightly larger and broader than the pungi, and he made 7 holes on the body of this very instrument called pungi, a modified version. So what he did, he took a long pipe, larger, and it was a hollow pipe. Hollow means something which is empty from inside. So when he took the large pipe, he made 7 holes on it, and he tried to play now the notes. And when he played on it, closing and opening some of the holes, the soft and melodious sounds were produced. And he played the instrument before the royalty. So the barber modified the instrument, and because it was played in front of the Shah, the Urdu term for the king, the emperor, Shah, and the Urdu term for the barber is Nai. That is how it got the name Shehnai. And the emperor was very much impressed, and the sound of this Shehnai was considered to be auspicious. And it became indispensable component of any North Indian wedding, even now. And Shehnai became a part of the Naubat. What is the Naubat? The traditional flair of the instruments. 9 instruments that are played or that were played in front of the emperor or the Shah in the royal palace. So children, at the age of 3, when his mother took him to the maternal uncle's house in Banaras, which is Varanasi at present, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle practicing Shehnai. And soon Bismillah Khan, he started accompanying his uncle Ali Bakhsh Khan. He would play Shehnai at the Vishnu temple. And Bismillah Khan used to sit there, captivated, watching his uncle playing Shehnai. And slowly his uncle Ali Bakhsh, he started giving him lessons on Shehnai. And Bismillah Khan, as an obedient student, would listen to the lessons of his uncle. And not only this, soon at the age of 14, Bismillah Khan accompanied his uncle at a music conference at Allahabad. And Ustad Fayaz Khan, who was present in the audience there, he appreciated him, praised him, and patted him and said, "Work hard, you shall make it." That means Ustad Fayaz Khan too had the vision that this young boy who was just 14 years of age was going to do something big in his life. He was going to make all of us proud. So it was not just the family children, his parents, his uncle, his paternal uncles, but the other people also, the other musicians also. They could also feel and had that vision that Bismillah Khan was going to, the renowned musician of our country one day. And same happened. Bismillah Khan got his big break in 1938 when he played Shehnai on air, All India Radio, and he was audible to millions nationwide. And he was praised, and for the first time he played Shehnai on air, and many people, millions of people appreciated and liked his performance. And after that, on the occasion of independence, when India gained independence on 15th of August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. What he played? He played Rag Kafi. And Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was present in the audience, the first Prime Minister of India, children. Not an easy task. The first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, was also present there on the occasion of independence. And he also appreciated and praised Bismillah Khan, and later gave his speech. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and in abroad. And his first trip was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so much taken by his performance that he presented him priceless Persian carpets. And later, the film director Vijay Bhatt titled his film after the instrument, Goonj Uthi Shehnai. And the compositions Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya became a nationwide blockbuster. So children, awards and honors came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to the prestigious Lincoln Central Hall at United States of America. And he also took part in Montreal, the Cannes Art Festival and the Osaka Trade Fair. So this all, added to his career. He got all the success and the fame. And even at international level, an auditorium in Iran, there is a place, Tehran. So an auditorium was named after Bismillah Khan. Named Tahar Mosiki Ustad Bismillah Khan. So internationally, Bismillah Khan was recognized. In fact, is recognized. And the national awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, all these awards are conferred upon him. And despite this huge success, children, Bismillah Khan has great love and regard for his motherland, his Hindustan. It was year 2001 when he received the Bharat Ratna. And when he received this award, this coveted award, he rested the same with his chest and, his eyes glittering with pride. He said, "Teach your children music because it's Hindustan's richest tradition." I'll repeat again. Teach your children music. Yes, because it's Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn it. It's huge, children. It speaks volumes about the love and the regard he had, for his country and for the people. Even having been traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib is profoundly fond of his town, Banaras and Dumrao. So children, in spite of having traveled all over the world, Khan Sahib is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of his towns, Dumrao and Varanasi. That is Banaras, yes. They remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. A student of, Khan Sahib once asked him, "So why can't you head a school here in the United States of America?" I would, or rather they would replicate the atmosphere by giving the same atmosphere as that of Varanasi and Dumrao. But Khan Sahib said, "Would you be able to transfer Ganga? Will you be able to transfer my emotions attached to the Varanasi and the Dumrao?" And the student was quiet. Children, this statement highlights and reflects the love, the compassion for culture and the tradition. Not only for music, but for people, but for the motherland. And this is something we all should imbibe and inculcate from this biographical account, from the life of Ustad Bismillah Khan, right? And not only this, he says when he used to be in the foreign country, he always used to remember Hindustan. And whenever he was in Mumbai, he used to remember the holy Ganga and the Banaras. And when he was in Banaras, he used to remember the holy Matha of Dumrao. Children, this biographical account gives us a perfect example of the perfect life of the rich cultural heritage of India. You know, that one can effortlessly accept. And this biographical account gives us two important lessons. Number one, India's culture is rich and invigorating. We all must enhance it, accept it, and motivate people to come close to it. Number two, we must teach our children love and respect for our motherland and for the fellow people. So this proves and states that Ustad Bismillah Khan was a devout Muslim, and a person like him can naturally play the Shehnai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. And we all should try to understand this concept. And children, we all know everybody has to face the jaws of the death one day. And the life of this renowned musician, this Shehnai maestro, came to an end. And he passed away on 21st August 2006 after a prolonged illness. He succumbed to cardiac arrest. He was given a state funeral, and the government of India declared one day of national mourning for this renowned musician and the Shehnai maestro. What a person. What an inspirational personality, children. Let's follow the message and follow the trend and give and pass on this message to every Indian. Thank you so very much. I hope I'm clear. Looking forward to see you in the upcoming videos. Thank you.